It is 1400 GMT. That is 4 p.m. in Gaza. We are awaiting the release of a further 42 Palestinian prisoners in Israel and 14 captives being held by Hamas. That is expected to happen within the coming hours, but we do not have a specific time frame. On Friday, 39 Palestinian women and children were released from Israeli jails. There have been celebrations across the occupied West Bank as those who were being held were reunited with their families. Meanwhile, 24 civilian captives have been freed by Hamas and taken out of Gaza. 13 of them are Israeli women and children. 10 are Thai nationals. 1 is from the Philippines. Because of the ceasefire deal, more trucks carrying humanitarian aid have been rolling into Gaza through the Rafah border crossing with Egypt. Palestinians have struggled to survive with shortages of fuel, water, food, and medical supplies. Many Palestinians who are able to move around now for the first time in nearly 2 months are just seeing the extent of destruction across the Gaza Strip. Those trying to make the journey back to their homes have expressed shock at how little was left of them.
I came to my house to take out some things, but I did not find anything. The Israeli army destroyed the place in a way that we did not expect.
I was displaced in one of the shelters in Khan Yunis, and I came to my house. But when I saw the destruction, I was shocked. The destruction is very large. Tears are coming down alone. God suffices us, and that's all I can say.
Mohammed Jamjoom is in occupied East Jerusalem. Mohammed, we turn to you as it is 4 p.m. where you are, 14 GMT. Yesterday, that was a key time because that was the time when we were expecting to see captives being released from Gaza, and that would start the domino effect of Palestinian prisoners being freed from Israeli jails. Today, we have no such timestamp for when all of this is supposed to happen again, for round 2. So tell us what you know, what we can expect, and also what we don't know.
So, Cyril, what we have been expecting throughout the day is that the transfer of those captives being held by Hamas in Gaza would begin at this hour, 4 p.m. local time. That's what was reported in the Israeli media. That's what we have been led to believe by Israeli officials. We have not yet gotten any confirmation that that process has started, but we expect that we would start getting details emerging from the Israeli government probably any minute now, whether there's been a delay or whether it's gone as had been planned prior to now. I will tell you that what we have heard thus far is that there is to be a transfer of at least 13 Israeli captives that have been held in Gaza, that they would be taken, as was the case yesterday, by the ICRC, the Red Cross, transferred from Gaza to the Rafah border crossing, then transferred into the hands of the Israeli army. The Israeli army would then begin the process of verifying the identities of those captives, and then they would transfer them back into Israel and take them to various hospitals, most of them around the Tel Aviv area and in Tel Aviv. So that's what we're expecting to hear. We have not gotten any indications from Israeli officials that there have been difficulties or why there is this potential delay, why we have not heard anything up until now. But we will be chasing with those government officials. We'll get you those details as we know them. Now, one other thing I want to mention, Cyril, is that what we have read in the Israeli media throughout the day is that most of the Israeli hostages that will be released today are from the kibbutz Be'eri in southern Israel. And that is a community that was one of the hardest hit on October 7th. So that's the extent of what we know. We are aware that the family members of those captives that are scheduled to be released today, that they were informed as of last night once Israeli officials got the list from Hamas. So obviously they are very much expecting to be seeing their family members later this evening. One more thing to mention, once we get clarity as to whether or not those captives in Gaza have been transferred, we then will start getting details about the Palestinian prisoners. What we've been told thus far is it could be 39 Palestinian prisoners, as was the case yesterday, or it could be as many as 42. We're told that at least 6 of those Palestinian prisoners that will be released by Israel will be transferred back to occupied East Jerusalem, which is where we are. So we'll be getting more about that in the hours to come as well, and we'll be getting you those details and to our viewers as well. Cyril?
And Mohammed Jamjoom reporting minutes after 4 p.m. local time in occupied East Jerusalem. Thank you very much, Mohammed.